To any good 2-minute drive is the first play. You got to get some positive yards. So we had a good concept front side and had kind of alert backside, which actually set up the entire final sequence. Hit Devontae on the back shoulder to start the whole drive. That ultimately sets up the winning pass because he's playing high shoulder on the first play. We go back shoulder. He's playing lower shoulder on the last play. We go over the top with a high throw.
Aaron Rodgers on a 2-minute drill. I just don't know what else to say about him. I got to expand my vocabulary. So just a great job by Aaron. The whole structure of the 2-minute offense and just handling the. I thought Dallas was aggressive with the 2-man and the pressure, and the scramble play was big, and obviously the touchdown throw was outstanding.
It's a tough one. I mean, you're frustrated. We knew the importance. How important it was for us to get this win and try to go into this bye week 3 and 2. And now on the flip side, it's just about staying focused. It's a lot of football left to play. Now we're just going to self-evaluate in this bye week, get better, move forward.
Shannon, what happened yesterday?
Aaron Rodgers happened. Skip, sometimes you could be in the perfect defense. You could have the perfect coverage. But if he makes the perfect throw, there are very few guys that's ever played the quarterback position in the 98-year history of the NFL could throw the ball as accurate, as consistently as this young man can. I said it when
He's not that young, but go ahead.
He is.
No.
Compared to Tom Brady, he's a kid.
Okay.
As I was saying, after seeing him throw the ball up close and personal in the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dallas.
Long time ago.
I went back and I said, he's the most gifted thrower of the football I had ever laid eyes on. I went to Pro Bowls with Marino and Elway and Moon, and I saw Aikman and I saw Montana. Skip, nobody could spin the ball like this young man can. And he's special. And what happened, Dallas couldn't do any better than what they did. You ask Dak, we need a touchdown. You go get your touchdown, and you take almost 9 minutes off the clock. 8 minutes and 43 seconds. They gave the ball back to Aaron Rodgers in that offense with 1 minute, 13 seconds and a timeout. But the problem is the weakest unit of the Dallas Cowboys, which I told you would be, is their defense. When you ask the weakest element of your team, we need a big stop, or we need you to go get points if you're on the offensive side of the ball. You're asking an awful lot, Skip. You really are. And what do we see? And now they found some resemblance of a running game. Jones gave them 129 yards rushing. Because what happens is when you play that defense like they're playing that Tampa 2 where the guys are going to run out of there and try to get their depth. Aaron Rodgers snuck a couple of draws in there. Jones pick up 19. Jones pick up 15. Boom. So now what do? If we lag, the guys are going to get behind us. If we hightail it out of here, Jones is going to hit us with the run. So now Aaron Rodgers is doing this. He's Geppetto. Mary, hey, Pinocchio. I had him dangling on the string.
It reminded me of your researcher with you.
Skip, don't do that, Skip. Why you do
I was
this?
thinking about you and Steve Owens yesterday.
Why you do this, Skip? He told me to say this. And I tried to tell you. I foreshadowed. Oh, Jordan Lewis, when he's at Michigan, he just made plays. There's a difference between college receivers and NFL receivers. There's definitely a difference between college quarterbacks and that guy. Oh, Skip, you seen him do this at the back?
Tell me when it's my turn.
Say that not your turn yet.
No.
We got this segment along. We extended this segment, Jordan.
Oh, we did?
But yeah, we extended this segment because they knew I had something for you. I tried to tell you this. I told you they're going into the bye week. They were going in at 2 and 3. Skip, the Dallas Cowboys can't play any better. The Packers had 7 possessions. Let that sink in for a second. They had 7 possessions. They got 4 touchdowns and a field goal. What you call them, a crossbar. I don't know what was going on in his mind. He must have been on that yak, Joey. Missed 2 PATs. Dak was doing it. Dak was wheeling, coming outside of the pocket. Oh, Dak making plays. Aaron Rodgers, you got somebody on the other side just as good as you. Somebody said. Aaron Rodgers said, you think that for real, Skip? I said, yeah, Aaron, he thinks that for real because I'm in the helmet, too. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. I calling into the game. Woo, Skip, that hurt. Skip, you know why this hurt so much? Because they had a big lead, Aaron Rodgers come back, and you wanted to say, Dak Prescott is clutch. Oh, he's clutch. That's what you wanted to say. But today,
how do you know what I wanted?
Because I know you.
Well, that's what you're saying right now. No. He was clutch, wasn't he?
You notice how I preface that? What it was, what tense it was. Past. Aaron Rodgers is.
Did you think Dak played well yesterday?
Doesn't matter what I think. I think Aaron Rodgers played better. Which guy had a turnover?
Really?
Which guy had a turnover? Which guy gave up a pick six?
And it was whose fault? Who was the turnover's fault? Help me out.
The guy
Which
that threw the
game
ball.
did you watch?
Skip, I will let you go.
Wait, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. Are you saying that the turnover was Dak Prescott's fault?
The Cowboys.
Wait, are you saying that?
You'll get an opportunity to talk.
Oh,
You'll
so
get an opportunity.
you're dancing because you can't.
You will get an opportunity.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, 10 minutes extra time of possession over the Packers. Zeke Elliott ran the ball. You couldn't ask for anything more. You held the Packers to 7 possessions. But what the Cowboys defense have becoming more and more vulnerable to is the running game. They've had 3 of the 5 rushers they faced gone over 100 yards. They didn't allow one of those in 16 games last year. So not only can you not play pass defense, you can't stop the run now. Well, there's only 2 areas that defense need to be concerned about. That's being able to stop the run and being able to stop the pass. Well, if you can't do either, you're in a heap of trouble. And your Cowboys, as I said it before, when I said they wouldn't make the playoffs, and everybody laughed, oh, you're a Cowboy hater.
Oh, really? Everybody laughed?
Everybody laughed. Even Skip Baylor. Are you right here, right now?
You mean people, Twitter laughed?
No,
or-
no,
Who else
everybody.
laughed?
You did.
I don't know anybody on this show.
You everybody. You were everybody.
I actually laughed when you said the Giants were going to win the division, and they're now 0-5.
And I also said, and you also laughed when I said the Cowboys wouldn't make the playoffs with that same team that was
Guess what?
13-3.
There's still 11 games left. It's just getting started.
And from what you've seen, you like what you see?
Nope. I do
Okay,
not.
then. Well, you
Tell
take
me
it
when
away.
it's my
It's
turn.
your turn, Skip, because
Really?
you've been jostling me. You've been bothering me all day.
After all that glorification of Aaron Rodgers, I need to point out to our more astute viewers, the ones who don't buy into Uncle Shannon, our more astute viewers will enjoy the fact that Dak Prescott's QBR yesterday on a scale of 0 to 100 was the best in the National Football League. He had a 97 QBR, the best of his career, while Aaron Rodgers had a 74 QBR. 97 to 74. But I got to give it up. Aaron Rodgers won the game, but you failed to point out I was once again, as I told you I would be, without the leader, the quarterback, the driving force of my defense, Sean Lee. And I was also without my starting cornerback, the only free agent they really went after of any note, Nolan Carroll, who started 56 games for the Philadelphia Eagles, including every game the last 2 years for the Philadelphia Eagles, was out with a concussion. So predictably, I told you Aaron Rodgers was going to throw a party, but I was kind of disappointed in the party he threw. Only 221 yards passing for Aaron Rodgers against that defense? Really?
What about the guy running for almost a $130? What about the $130 that he ran for?
I didn't see him, but again, Sean Lee would say no to all that just the way he would have said no to Todd Gurley last week. So again, if you take by far my best player off the defense, I'm really in trouble. I'm in enough trouble already. And I told you before the year, this is my one quibble and quarrel with the Cowboy management, starting with Jerry Jones. There's a guy named Darrelle Revis who's still out there on the market. And there's another guy who might be even more valuable right now who is building a house in Dallas named Antonio Cromartie, and he's still out there without a team. Would either of those two or both of those two help that defense yesterday against Aaron Rodgers? I say a big yes. So guess what happens with no Nolan Carroll? And by the way, do you know how big Nolan Carroll is, just off the top of your head?
How big?
He's 6'1", 205 pounds. Would you consider that kind of a big corner
That's a big
like
corner.
Antonio Cromartie
Nice
is?
size corner.
Nice size corner. How big is Devontae Adams? Help me out here. He's 6'2", 220. Would you say that's a pretty good size wide receiver?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like Sterling Sharp size, right?
Yeah.
Right there. I think they're about the same size.
Yeah.
6'2", 220. So guess who winds up having to cover Devontae Adams on the 2 plays of the game, 2 fade route throws from Aaron Rodgers? Little Jordan Lewis, who is 5 feet 10 inches, 180 pounds, out of University of Michigan as a raw rookie. Again, they stole him in the 3rd round. He's going to be pretty good. Did he not fight his little tail off on the first throw? Did he not knock it down?
Hold on. This is not the Jordan Lewis that you raved about.
I told you, I love him, and he made a play. He made a play on the first one, but when you've got 5'10" on 6'2", help me out. What's the math there? I'm not very good at math. I think that's 4 inches. Is that not a significant height advantage for a little fade route, if that's what you want to call it? I call it a fade route.
Does the Cowboys, Joey, help me out to the astute, and plus the astute viewers that's watching at home. Do the Cowboys have a receiver that's 6'2", 220?
They used to.
What on, where'd he go?
Who blasted him all the last 2 weeks? Who said he's not even a shell of himself?
I'm not talking about Michael Irvin. I'm talking about the new one.
You mean the guy who dropped a ball in the end zone that he got a break on, where they, where he goes, he drops the X when he's trying to catch the football. He dropped another one and got a break on a penalty that shouldn't have been called. Saved him.
So the game really shouldn't have been that close, right? Because that's 4 points that you had that you shouldn't have gotten.
Well, we can go on and on about that. Okay. So the point is, Aaron Rodgers, I got to give it up. I want to congratulate, as painful as it is for me, I want to congratulate Aaron Rodgers. You own Jerry World.
Yeah.
He owned it in the Super Bowl. Did you attend that?
I attended that one.
You won your only Super Bowl and your only Super Bowl MVP. And it was a long time ago. And by the way, Aaron, you're now 5-6 in the postseason since that Super Bowl. I don't know why. I don't know why. And by the way, Aaron, you should be wait a second. You should be 4-7 in the postseason, because obviously that was a catch at Lambeau in that playoff game. And it would have been over, and my Cowboys would have won and advanced to Seattle, and they would have beaten Seattle as they did in the regular season, and they would have been in the Super Bowl. But Aaron Rodgers should be 4-7 since that Super Bowl. The greatest thrower of the football ever. How do you explain it? I don't know.
Before you go any further, you can't automatically assume because the Cowboys had beaten Seattle early in the regular season, they would have beaten them in the postseason.
I'm going to assume it.
Okay, what
I have the right to assume it, because it's a free country.
Okay, what happened? What happened when the Cowboys went to Lambeau and beat them last year in the regular season?
30-16.
Okay, what happened?
Dak had a QBR of 70 to Aaron Rodgers 35. He outplayed him again.
And what happened? What happened in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, here's what happened. Aaron Rodgers made a pitch and catch throw on 3rd and forever because my defensive coordinator, who can be really good, Rod Marinelli, decided to play a dumb prevent defense and had 5 DBs back at the 20-yard line and let Jared Cook run behind Byron Jones, and it was wide open. And it's like, throw it to me here on the sideline, Aaron. And Aaron did the moving pocket, and he planted, and he threw. He actually threw off the wrong foot because it was such an easy throw.
It was not an easy throw.
It was a pitch and a catch.
Drew Brees said on our show in Houston that Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback that could have made that throw.
Okay, whatever. It was just simple. It was just by his standards, and I give you, he's a great thrower of the football. I don't think he's better than Dan Marino, but that's just me. And I think Joy concurs with that. I could be wrong about that, but I think
never slandered Dan Marino.
Never slander Dan Marino. You heard her.
Every form.
You worked with Dan Marino, and you slander him every day.
No, I don't. Skip. Every form of mathematics were easy to Einstein.
Yeah?
Every throw is going to look easy to Aaron Rodgers.
That was a simple pitch and catch. That wasn't like fitting it through a tight window. Was that a tight window? Baloney.
Threw it through a keyhole.
Then what happened? Mason Crossbar hit the luckiest field goal I've ever seen in playoff history after hitting the first lucky field goal from 56 yards, a dying quail that faded to the right, a slice that greased over the crossbar, Mason Crossbar. That's from 56, and this one to win the game is from 51 yards, and he duck hooks it left, and it somehow fades with the hand of God back to the right, inside the left upright. Ball game. So what happened yesterday early in the game?
I guess God was busy because he made him miss 2 extra points.
I guess the demons got a hold of Mason Crossbar's psyche, as we see happen to lots of kickers like Nick Folk on Thursday night. And all of a sudden, he missed 1 extra point, and then all of a sudden he's going, what's wrong with me?
On the second.
I don't know, because the snap and hold looked pretty good to me.
It was
a little late, but whatever.
It was fine.
Yeah, and he missed it. So the demons are gnawing at his psyche. So what am I hoping at the end of the game and the final drive? I need Mason Crossbar. I need justice to prevail. I need karma to bite him in the butt for getting so lucky with the 2 field goals last year. So what happens? It gets to 3rd and 8 at the 30-yard line. So that is, by my calculations, let's see, 10 plus 8. Let's say that's a 48-yard field goal that you're sitting on. And what happens again to Rod Marinelli's defense?
What happened?
You tell me, because obviously all game long they are spying Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So what do they do on 3rd and 8? Anthony Hitchens, who came off a tibial fracture, just like J.J. Watt suffered last night in the late game. God bless J.J. I hope he comes back. But Anthony Hitchens missed the first, what are we up to, 4 games. So he comes back in game 5, which is why I can't understand how J.J. is going to miss the whole rest of the season, but maybe so, because I saw Dez have a tibial fracture last year, and he only missed 3 games. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe J.J. will come back earlier than scheduled.
Those games that he had 1 catches, he missed those 2. He was out there, but he wasn't there. But that's neither here nor there. But go ahead.
So this is Anthony Hitchens' first game, and clearly he's assigned to be the spy on Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
So if we could see the play, DeMontre Moore is in the game. I'm not sure why. And he does.
What you mean? He's a defensive lineman. He's supposed to be in the
but
game.
Again, he's zone blitzing. So he drops out of the pass rush. So they rush 3. And then guess what happens? Anthony Hitchens and DeMontre Moore take Aaron Jones out of the backfield, and both of them go the wrong way. They both go to the right. What are you doing, Anthony Hitchens? You've got Aaron Rodgers back there, and we all know he can move a little bit. I don't think he can move like Dak Prescott, but he can move
moved
around.
out. But hold on, Skip. You assuming what if DeMontre Moore was the spy? He was supposed to be spying
You know
on Aaron
what?
Rodgers.
You don't have a 260-pound guy spying Aaron Rodgers. You have a quick linebacker. And Anthony Hitchens can run a little bit. Yes, he can. So they both go with the back. So you wind up with effective double coverage on a rookie back out of UTEP, a 5th-round draft pick who is starting and playing big minutes in or big time in his first game.
Well, he's
right?
the new starter because
I know, it's
not
over.
getting that job back.
I agree. He was sensational. I didn't see it coming. I had double jeopardy Aaron yesterday. I had Aaron Rodgers and I had Aaron Jones. And I'm like, Aaron, I'm getting Aaron to death. And then I watched Aaron Judge. He made a nice catch. He saved the game for the Yankees. The point is that both my guys go the wrong way, because if Anthony Hitchens just spies, and then you got Mayoa and David Irving, and they both almost have shoestring tackles of Aaron Rodgers, but he escapes. And when he escaped, nobody's home. There's no spy left because they're running with Aaron Jones the other direction on 3rd and 8. And Aaron Rodgers runs, and he runs some more, and then he runs a little more.
And he thought about running over that DB. You should have trucked it.
I had Mason Crossbar set up to have to attempt a potential 48-yard field goal that could have been like 55 if you sack Aaron Rodgers. If you trip him up back there, it could have been 55.
We're going for
and
it.
Guess what? Mason Crossbar, with the demons in his head, would be thinking, last year I had this kick to win the game. Now I have to make this kick to tie the game to send it into overtime. Different circumstance,
But
right?
he did make a field goal early in the game, so he had to erase some of those demons.
You know what? I think he would have choked
Chase
his
him
brains
away.
out. He would have choked. And it would have been so classic, so fitting, such justice for Mason Crossbar to miss the field goal that lost the game.
The only Heimlich maneuver that was going on yesterday was on your Cowboys, who had a 21-6 lead. Dak Prescott said, we can't spot this team. You said they can't do what they did in the playoffs. They did everything that you said that they did everything that you wanted them to do. And what did it get them? You keep talking about that QBR.
What, 97? How do you explain that?
Can I ask you a question, Skip?
97 to 74?
Skip, let me ask you a question.
Wait, what's my math on that? That's 23 points better.
Okay, let me ask. Can I ask you a question? If a pitcher gives up 1 home run, but he strikes out 19 and he loses, what has he accomplished? What has Dak accomplished? All I know is Aaron Rodgers took his State Farm heavyweight championship belt off, got dressed, got on the winning bus. Dak Prescott, all dapper and debonair, got into his nice losing car and drove home.
So you failed, of course, to point out, because you often do, that this was basically a one-play football game. It was basically a one-turnover game. There were some other turnovers that came off weird
Most
plays.
games are like that, Skip.
Right? No, they're not.
Yes, they
are
are.
not. They're 3 turnover games, and Big Ben threw 5 interceptions and 2 pick sixes, and they were all his fault. But yesterday, all of a sudden, my Cowboys have another stupid penalty. They get 12 men on the field on a punt, and I don't know what they're doing, but it gives them 5 more yards. Then it's a rocket punt, and it nails them back at their 11-yard line. And then, of course, Zeke goes as usual 2 yards on first down, and here we go. It's 2nd and 8, and Dak is so unprotected. He's under such fire from the Green Bay pass rush all day long that they have to resort to 3-step drops. I don't know if you noticed this, but he's doing a lot of 3-step Dak and dunk drops, right?
Yeah.
So on this one, it's a quick drop, and he throws it to the sometimes reliable Terrence Williams.
Oh, no,
T
no.
Will.
Yeah, there you go. Call it T Will.
T won't.
No, don't do
T
that, Skip.
won't.
Don't do that, Skip.
Because T didn't in the previous game. He had 2 big drops. And T
well.
won't. T won't. He hits him right in the hands. And at first I thought he put a little too much mustard on it. I thought in tight quarters it was just a little hard. This is not too much mustard. That's a pitch and a catch. He hits him right in the hands, and he turns him away from Clay Matthews. He turns him upfield. And what happens? Shannon Sharp gets the break of his undisputed life because the ball, just as it went through Dez's hands in Denver and right to, who was it, Chris Harris?
Chris Harris Jr.
It
got
goes
that one.
right through T. Won's hands.
Don't do that, Skip.
And who is it? Demarius Randall. Just, it's like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you, God. So God's good again. And here he goes, and he waltzes into the end zone. And I am devastated. That's when I'd slam the door, because it's just like,
Why would you
can't-
do that?
You know why? Because the game was over when that happened. In a game that close, that hard fought between two really good quarterbacks, because my quarterback, I'm not going to say he's great yet because he still hasn't proven enough. That was a great performance by Dak Prescott yesterday. It was great.
You harped on me so much that Dak Prescott played 15 games and he only had 4 interceptions. Can you tell our astute viewers at home how many interceptions does he have in 5 games this
Will
year?
you tell our astute viewers at home how many you thought were his fault in Denver? Help me out. None. 2 in Denver, not his fault.
Let me ask you a question. The interceptions, do they go to the receiver resume or they on the quarterback
You know
resume?
what? That they should have
I don't know what they should do.
definitions of interceptions. They should have explanations. They should have asterisks beside
Well,
because that was clearly not the quarterback's fault.
Yep.
The one against the Rams, he tried to do too much. His arm gets hit, it goes up in the air. That's on Dak.
But here's the thing. You say Sean Lee missed the last 2 games.
It's terrible. You
okay.
got no shot against Aaron Rodgers, especially against Aaron Jones.
Hold on. Did Sean Lee play against C.J. Anderson and the Broncos, who went well over 100 yards in that game?
Yes.
And they gave up 35 points.
Yeah, but what was happening? Trevor Siemian was slicing and dicing.
So
from the
what did
start.
you expect? Hold on. If Trevor Siemian and Jared Goff,
I told you what happened that day. Nobody showed up. They were fat catting going up to Denver, and they said it afterwards. We thought we were pretty good coming off devastating, steamrolling the New York Giants, getting revenge off those 2 losses.
and
from
come to
last year.
find out the Giants are not who we thought they were. So them taking congratulatory pats on the back for that win was meaningless. Now what they've had to step, because remember, Skip, they played that 5th place schedule, that last place schedule last year. Now they won the division. You got to play all these big dogs. You got to play the Green Bay, who won the division, the Broncos, who won the division. Oh, and Kansas City got something for you, too.
Yeah. So
You're not out of the woods yet.
now I got to go to the one big controversy in this game, and it concerns kneeling, but not kneeling for the anthem, kneeling before scoring. And I'll tell you why. Because I did have this thought, but I didn't tweet about it. I mentioned it on a Facebook Live I did after the game, but I'm going to raise it and then I'm going to shoot it down. And that is, should Dak Prescott, once he broke free on the read option, and by the way, if I may say so myself, I tweeted twice, you've got to keep it on the read option because they are crushing Zeke. They are selling out 8 men in the box. They are stymieing, they're stonewalling Ezekiel Elliott, even on the 4th and 1 that he got.
Yeah.
He had to stretch over the top, and we couldn't even see it till we got the sky cam view, right?
Replay, yep, you're
'Cause
exactly right.
it looked like it was
he was
game
stuck.
over. I
Yes.
thought the game was over because I couldn't see him reach over.
Right.
Okay, so then Dak gets a reprieve. He pulls the ball back on the read option and goes to his left, and nobody is home, predictably, except for 2 DBs. So should Dak, at that point, because there was still about to be 1:13 left for Aaron Rodgers against that defense, should he have taken a knee at the 1-yard line?
No.
Because why?
Because what happens if he snaps the next play, he fumbles the ball on the snap?
I completely concur with you. It's easy 20/20 hindsight, and I've slept on it. I let it play back through my head. But what if this happens? What if Zeke can't get a yard and they try again and they get it to the half-yard line and they did have 2 timeouts left, so you could go ahead and use probably your 4 downs, I guess, with 2 timeouts, right?
Absolutely you would.
Okay. So, but what if you can't get it in? What if disaster strikes, such as a fumble? What if he tries to throw it in the end zone, it gets tipped up in the air, and Demarius Randall picks it off again? A lot of bad stuff can happen.
Correct.
Because here's me. I'm rooting for the Cowboys, obviously.
Right.
I didn't know if they could get it in the end zone to start with. It's hard, man.
Yes.
It's hard to score a touchdown. You realize they went 17 plays, 79 yards and 7. That's a long drive.
Almost
asking
9
for
minutes.
trouble, because the degree of difficulty goes higher and higher because at some point somebody's going to screw something up.
Right.
And it gets all the way to the 1-yard line, and he has to fight through 2 DBs, and I'm okay. And my guy, Joe Buck, who's the best in the business at what he does, he chastised the Cowboys for trying to throw the fade to Des Bryant on the play before because it stops the clock. Okay? I don't have a problem with that because I don't care. By any means possible, get it in the end zone.
Right.
And if you think he's got single coverage over here on a smaller guy, throw him the ball just the way Aaron threw it to Devontae Adams on little tiny Jordan Lewis.
But he don't have that pinpoint accuracy.
I thought that was a sweet ball, but guess what? The same Des Bryant who used to put that in his back pocket for Tony Romo, he goes up and he does this. Like, he does this. How do you not catch that ball? Seriously, is that not your ball to catch?
No.
It's simple. It's like, there, thank you.
Can I talk a little bit? You gonna let me talk, Skip? Can I talk a little bit?
We need the knowledge, what really happened in the game, and you just skated around it because you don't really understand what happened in the game, so I had to preempt you. What do you want to talk about? What's
I
left?
want to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
You're missing the controversy here. Are you with me that he shouldn't have kneeled at the 1 yard line?
No, Skip, no.
I guess I can make a case that would have killed some clock.
You Skip, you never pass up an opportunity to score a touchdown.
Correct.
There is no give. Oh,
And Dak said exactly the right thing after the game when Jarrett Bell of USA Today asked him about it. He said, I have to trust my defense.
Yes.
It's a team game. And by the way, for what it's worth, the defense had made Aaron Rodgers punt twice in the game. So maybe once you can get him to punt the ball.
I tell you what, all you got to do is go back a couple of years to the Super Bowl and ask them about throwing the ball, about not scoring. Remember Seattle?
Yeah.
Now, Marshawn Lynch got the ball down to the 1.
He did.
Now, most logical people say, hey, we're going to run it again.
Oh, you're saying that bad things can happen.
And Skip,
That's true.
you never, ever know. 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady tried to throw, they were at home. And remember, he tried to throw the quick slant. Malcolm Jenkins picked it, goes 102, ball game over. But Skip, you're minimizing. I don't think you realize just how great that man is. I mean, that first of all, let's give Devontae Adams some credit because he was unconscious 10 days ago. He was carted off the field.
I'll give you that.
A lot of people didn't think he was going to play. Not only did he play, he played extremely well. The first touchdown, DJ, can you play that track for me right quick? That first was Skip. You ever seen a? These are what we call, there's sometimes when the quarterback throws the ball, these are what we call 15, 20-yard handoffs. Look at this. He walked into it. That's a 15-yard handoff. Normally, the quarterback just turns around and hits it.
Kind of reminded me of the one that Dak threw to
No.
Dez.
Oh, come on, give me another one.
did.
Now, look at Skip. Look at this. Walk it to him.
Wait, that's the same play.
No, we got some more. We got some more coming.
How many times are we going to see this?
Don't worry about it.
Why don't we get to see Dez's play?
Oh, there it is. Look at this. Look at this, Skip. Look at this. Look at this, Skip. Walk it to him. That's a long handoff. 25-yard handoffs.
You know,
Beyond the line of scrimmage.
just me.
No,
I
can
think
I get
that was
that
a
touchdown?
better catch
No,
than throw.
Ooh, this dude's special. Skip, do you realize what you're watching? This would be like watching Einstein write on a chalkboard. That's what this is.
Did you see Dak Prescott escape early and win it
watch
out the
this.
field?
It's just for the game. Woo! Walking to him. Good goodness, movie. Now I play with
6'2" on 5'10" rookie? Really?
Whoa.
Wow.
You didn't say you knew he was 5'10", 180-pound rookie when you were hyping him.
I like it.
Okay, you still.
But he's a rookie. He's thrown in. Guess how much camp he got to play in? 0.
What
torn hamstring all through camp.
When did you realize he was a rookie, and when did you realize he was 5'10", 180? Was it before or after the game?
Okay, it's all about matchups.
Yeah.
He's a bad matchup for the biggest, strongest Green Bay receiver.
It just so happens that on the other side, you guys have a guy named number 88 who happens to be 6'2", 220.
Why are we bringing him up? I've told you, I'm out. I'm done. I told you last week.
No. What you should be done.
He used to be Des Bryant. He's not anymore.
You should be done with your Cowboys because I tried to tell you what was going to happen to your defense. I tried to tell you.
Did you tell me Sean Lee was going to get hurt and miss the 2 biggest home games of the year in the Rams and the Green Bay
Morgan
Packers?
Burnett got hurt.
Late in the game.
Okay. And those are mistakes. That's why that zone read was working.
You say Morgan Burnett is as good as Sean Lee? Seriously? I'm offended. Sean's offended. He's
You
watching
should
right
be
now.
offended that your Cowboys defense is bad. is worse than you previously thought. And I tried to tell you there was going to be some trash this year, but you didn't want to hear me. You called me a Cowboy hater. Joy called me all things, Shannon Sharp hates all things Cowboys. I love the Cowboys because that's easy money, and I get to fire up, one of them things in the backyard on the grill. Now, this whole week, it gets to marinate. While they going on their vacation, they doing what they doing. Zeke gonna probably turn up on that pontoon boat. Dak will be studying. Ain't no telling what Daz or the rest of the guys gonna be doing. Let this L. Ooh, ain't nothing worse than taking an L into the bye week, Skip. Ooh, I had a miserable time doing bye after the L. It's just something about joy when you win and go on the bye. You go to Vegas, I would turn it up. I go back home, turn up. Like going home, turn up because ain't nobody see me. I was down in my own basement. But Skip Bayless, I tried to tell you that your Cowboys weren't going to make the playoffs. You laughed.
Did the season end yesterday? Help me out.
Skip.
I thought you were in the Hall of Fame.
I am.
How many games have they played?
They gave me
2 + 3 = 5 games, and you're saying it's over?
They gave me my credentials back when I told you they would be 2 and 3 heading into the bye week. But I slid a note up on the commissioner's desk last night. Hey, you still hadn't addressed Zeke yet. He said, he said, I still got no.
I'm good with Alfred
That's
Morris.
still on my docket. That's still on my docket.
Morris. Yeah.
Oh, look, Alfred Morris didn't play yesterday. They gave some guy named Smith 41 or 45.
Well, they gave it to Alfred Morris. He had a carry. He got in the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So think about it. With the all-pro running back, the guy that rushed for 1,600 yards last year, you're 2 and 3.
You know what?
You think you're going to be better if you take him out?
I'm with Jerry Jones on this point. He was, as he said last night, very upset with the way they failed to compete against Jared Goff and the Rams in the second half a week ago. But he was very pleased with the way they played and competed against Aaron Rodgers yesterday. And so was I. If we take out T-won't, if we just take that one play out of this game, my Cowboys beat the great Aaron Rodgers.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they do.
No, they didn't.
And look at the stats. This is the all-time stat sheet misleading. Have you checked this out? Who won time of possession? What's our recipe for winning football games?
Y'all won by over 10 minutes.
35-25 Dallas. That'll work, right?
Yeah.
Look at the third down conversion.
Yeah.
7 of 12 by the Dak attack, plus 3 out of 3 on fourth down. That means 10 out of 15 times when you have to convert, they converted 10 out of 15.
Yeah.
Is that not great? Look at the total yards here. 408 total yards to only 342 for the great Aaron Rodgers. Wow, that's pretty good. And by the way, as great as Aaron Jones emerged to be, Dallas had 163 yards rushing to only 160 for Green Bay. So you even got eclipsed in that department.
Yeah, you had 10 more rush attempts, but you only had 3 more yards. See, Skip,
I'll take it.
You give all those stats. All that sound good. See, so is Jerry in the participation business? He's pleased with the way they played in the second half. I won't W.
So Dak Prescott played the greatest game of his young career.
And what did he get for it?
He got an L thanks to T-Won't.
No,
it was a one-play game.
Don't do that,
you know
Skip.
it, and I know
Skip,
it.
I'm not going to put that blame on that man.
Again, what I don't like is there's no depth on the defense, and they lost, as you know, 4 starters to free agency, and they tried to replace them with a bunch of kids because they're all, full of themselves about we can draft these kids.
Yeah.
They're just kids.
Yeah.
They're learning on the fly. So I say, if you give me Darrelle Revis, if you give me Antonio Cromartie, I got a chance in this game, but I still love the way they competed without Sean Lee, without Nolan Carroll, without Awuzie, who pulled his hamstring again yesterday. He's probably the most seasoned of the rookies. So this was, as I tweeted, Aaron Rodgers, this was candy from babies. That's what it was. It's like taking candy from babies.
No.
And he finally took
We ain't even buy
candy.
you candy.
Yeah.
My babies don't eat candy. So we ain't even give y'all no candy.
I'm happy with my team. I'm good with my team because the NFC East has not yet started, and we get to play the mighty high-flying Eagles twice. We get to play the Washington Redskins twice, and we get to go up to New York and get revenge for that one also. So there's 5 games. I'm good to go. And I know what happens on schedule for the Eagles fly, that they start to cry, Eagles cry, because and I know they're going to come back to earth.
My prognostication about Carson Wentz looking real good, better than somebody else I know, that thing coming to fruition.
Oh, so you think he's better than Dak Prescott still after that yesterday?
Did you see what
you look foolish.
Did you see what was circulating on the internet?
Foolish.
They had Aaron Rodgers. And he had Jerry Jones in his hand. He had Dak. And I didn't know Aaron Rodgers had 3 kids or 3 different baby mamas. I mean, I was like, come on, Aaron. Aaron, you didn't tell me this. He rocking Jerry. Jerry like, Jerry had a pacifier in his mouth too. Oh, he patting Zeke on his head.
Remember, our more thoughtful viewers, Dak Prescott, QBR yesterday of 97. Aaron Rodgers, greatest thrower of the football ever, 74 QBR. Just remember that.
What do we go by? QBR? You want QBR? You want 150 QBR? Or you want that W, our astute viewers?
Well, either way, this matchup is must-see television.